The morning of my 30th birthday, I found the letters, hidden in the back of his sock drawer, beneath sweaters I had knitted for him. A dozen envelopes tied with a faded ribbon, addressed in handwriting I didn't recognize. I was searching for his good watch, to surprise him with dinner at our first date restaurant. But the drawer stuck, the ribbon slipped, and the letters spilled out like secrets desperate to be told. My name is Felicity Morrow, and until that morning, I thought I knew everything about my husband, Julian. 12 years together, 8 married. He was my best friend, father of our 2 children, Oliver and Sophie. We met in college, fell in love over shared textbooks, and promised forever under string lights in my parents' backyard. I thought our forever was unbreakable. I thought he was incapable of lying. The letters were from a woman named Clara. I opened the first before I could stop myself. She wrote about their affair, which started before our wedding and continued throughout our marriage. Hotel rooms, secret calls, the way he made her feel alive. She wrote about guilt, hope that he would leave me, despair that he never would. The most recent letter was dated 3 weeks ago. While I planned Sophie's birthday party, packed lunches, kissed him goodbye, he was writing to another woman. I sat on the bedroom floor, surrounded by wreckage, and did not cry. I felt something colder, sharper. Not grief, not rage. The slow understanding that the man I gave my life to had been living a lie from the start. I folded the letters, tied the ribbon, put them back. Then I called my sister, Margot. She arrived within an hour, pale and worried. I handed her the letters. She read them in silence. "What are you going to do?" she whispered. I told her. Nothing. Not yet. Watch. Wait. Gather evidence. Hire an investigator. Then burn his world down. That was 6 months ago. 6 months of pretending. Kissing him goodbye, making his favorite meals, smiling at Sunday dinners. Secretly copying phone records, following him to business trips, watching him meet Clara at the same hotel. The investigator, Elena, gave me photos, bank statements, emails. He was siphoning money from our joint account, my inheritance, to fund his affair. I added everything to a safe deposit box. The letters, photos, statements, emails. Also a journal I started writing. Every lie, every excuse, every moment I felt something was wrong. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. He said he was working late. I packed a bag for me and the kids, drove to Margot's. When he came home to an empty house, he called. I didn't answer. Next morning, I filed for divorce. Papers served at his office. He called, voice shaking. "What are you doing? We can talk." "I don't think anything, Julian." "I know. I have everything." "Sign." He signed. Divorce finalized 4 months later. I kept the house, the car, the children. He kept his guilt in a studio apartment. Clara left him. No interest in a man who lost everything. Today, I live in the same house, but it feels different. The walls no longer hold his secrets. The garden grows tomatoes. The dog sleeps at my feet. I have a new job, new purpose, new understanding. The letters stay in the safe deposit box. I don't look at them anymore. They serve their purpose. The birthday promise I made myself was simple. I would not be a victim. I would become something he never expected, something he could never control. I kept that promise. Every year, on my birthday, I renew it. The first year after the divorce was the hardest. Not because I missed Julian, I didn't, but because I had to learn how to be alone in a house that still echoed with the sound of his footsteps. The children adjusted faster than I did. Children are resilient that way. They accept new routines, new silences, new faces at the dinner table. Oliver stopped asking when Daddy was coming home. Sophie stopped waiting by the window. They found comfort in the consistency of my presence, and I found strength in theirs. I threw myself into work. I had been a freelance graphic designer for years, fitting projects around nap times and school runs. Now I had more hours, more focus, more need to prove that I could support my family without him. I took on bigger clients, longer contracts, higher stakes. By the end of that first year, I had tripled my income. I didn't need Julian's money. I didn't need anything from him except to stay away. He didn't stay away, of course. He wanted to see the children. He had a legal right to visitation, and I couldn't deny him that. So every other weekend, he picked them up, took them to his studio apartment, and tried to play the father he had never been. They came home quiet, sometimes sad, sometimes confused. Oliver told me, once that Daddy had a new friend, a woman who slept over. I bit my tongue and said nothing. The new friend didn't last. None of them did. Julian had a talent for destruction, and his life after me was a monument to it. He lost his job when his company downsized, or so he claimed. I suspected his reputation had preceded him. He moved from the studio apartment to a cheaper one, then to a room in a shared house. He stopped paying child support on time. He started showing up late for visitation, then not at all. The children stopped asking about him. I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat. I just felt a quiet, weary relief. The man who had broken my heart was breaking his own life, and I didn't have to lift a finger. 2 years after the divorce, I received a letter from Clara. Not one of the hidden ones. A new one, addressed to me, sent to my home. I almost threw it away, but curiosity won. She wrote that she was sorry. Sorry for the affair. Sorry for the lies. Sorry for the part she played in destroying my marriage. She wrote that Julian had told her I was cold, unloving, that I didn't understand him. She wrote that she believed him because she wanted to believe him. She wrote that she had since learned the truth, that he was a master manipulator, a man who used women and discarded them. She had been in therapy for over a year, trying to understand why she had let herself become the other woman. I read the letter 3 times. Then I wrote back. A single sentence. I forgave you a long time ago, not because you deserve it, because I deserve peace. I never heard from her again. The 3rd year brought something unexpected. A new man. His name was Daniel, and he was nothing like Julian. He was quiet, steady, patient. He was a widower, raising a daughter on his own. He understood loss. He understood the weight of rebuilding. We met at a school event, bonded over burnt coffee and tired smiles, and took things slowly, very slowly. He didn't push. He didn't pressure. He just showed up, again and again, proving that he was exactly who he said he was. I told him about Julian on our 10th date. I showed him the letters, the photos, the journal. He listened without judgment, held my hand without pity, and said, "Thank you for trusting me." That was the moment I knew. Not with fireworks or grand gestures, but with a quiet certainty that settled into my bones. I was ready, not for a replacement, not for a savior, for a partner, an equal, a man who would never make me feel like I was auditioning for his love. We married a year later, in a small ceremony at my sister's farm. The children threw flower petals. Daniel's daughter carried the rings. I wore a simple white dress, nothing like the first one. That dress was still in my closet, but I didn't need it anymore. It belonged to a different woman, a woman who had been afraid to be alone. I was not that woman. Today, Oliver is 10 and Sophie is 8. They call Daniel Dad now, not because I asked them to, but because he earned it. He taught Oliver to ride a bike. He braids Sophie's hair. He reads bedtime stories in silly voices and makes pancakes on Sunday mornings. He is not perfect. Neither am I. But we are perfect for each other. Julian is still out there, somewhere. I hear rumors sometimes. He lost another job, moved to another state, burned another bridge. I don't go looking for him. I don't think about him, except on the rare occasions when something reminds me of the woman I used to be. The woman who found the letters and thought her world had ended. Her world did end, but a new one began. The letters are still in the safe deposit box. I keep them as a reminder, not of his betrayal, but of my survival, of the promise I made to myself on my 30th birthday, a promise to never be a victim, to never let anyone steal my voice, my power, my future. Every year on my birthday, I renew that promise. I light a candle, pour a glass of wine, and thank the woman who sat on the bedroom floor with a pile of letters in her lap. She was broken, but she was not defeated. She was scared, but she was not silent. She was alone, but she found her way. That woman is me, and I am still here. The birthday promise is not about revenge. It is about resurrection. It is about choosing yourself when everyone else has chosen someone else. It is about trusting that the best is yet to come, even when the present feels like a funeral. I kept my promise, and I will keep it every year for the rest of my life.